how are we going to use makerspaces with purpose? So when you're starting to use this in your own library and for your own purposes, try to focus in on one question. Otherwise, your brain is going to explode. And that's kind of one of the basics of designing your makerspace, is starting out with your goal. So we're going to say that our goal is, how can we makerspaces make life better? So we're going to not start with technology, because that is actually how most makerspaces get planned, and how some makerspaces guides are starting to tell people to do is, here's a list of technology, choose a piece of technology you like and find activities. That's not how problem solving works. Problem solving starts with the problem itself. It starts with people and what they care about. So we're going to flip this and say, it seems counterintuitive, ignore technologies to start out. Instead, you're going to map out the problems that people care about. What I did was use the Sustainable Development Goals as just like a broad lens to catch as many problems as I possibly could. These Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, so I don't have to say the whole thing, are poverty, hunger, health, well-being, education, affordable clean energy. There's 17 of them. Google them if you want to. And then I start mapping out the different organizations that are actually working on these problem areas, because you want to find out how these problems are actually turning into jobs, volunteer experiences, activities, things that are going to make life better. And once you have a rough idea of what that looks like, you want to find out which problems people actually care about and which problems are going to drive people to take action. The more people care, the more people are going to show up to your actual makerspace. So then you want to find out, okay, now you have some problems that people are actually going to care about. So how are you going to match this to technology and maker equipment that you have access to, that people can help you start using, and that you are going to start implementing within your community? So it's basically a giant game of matching. Then you're going to move down to connect these problems. Like, once you've connected the technology tool with the problems, you can start circling back over to the mapping that you did in the first place to start cultivating partnerships and relationships with individuals and organizations that are working in that problem space. Then you're going to start narrowing down, narrowing focus, and starting to articulate a problem you actually want to tackle, and convert that into a maker activity, and convert that into something that people can actively do at work, internships, volunteers, community engagement, whatever it is. So how are you going to start mapping out what people actually care about? So this is a user experience method that I've been using for quite a while. And so it'll ask you to start visually mapping what an individual or a demographic actually cares about. So you start off by choosing a single demographic. This might be parents that are new parents. It might be older adults. It could be parents who are dealing with aging relatives. It could be any different demographic. The one on the screen is actually for new parents who have aging parents. So the way that this works is that at the center of it is your daily life. And then you have different bubbles that are at various different sizes. The bigger the bubble, the more important the problem. This is how you narrow down your topic area. And then you can start pulling in different problems within that topic area based on what you found in the Sustainable Development Goals. You can narrow down specific problems using user experience research and data collection, which is your basic survey. You can start going through you can talk to different book groups and discussion groups. You can do reference interviews. There's a whole mess of different options. If you access these slides and click on the resource link, the UX 101 for librarians, there's a bunch of different methods. Give them a try. And so when you're trying to figure out different problem mapping methods to find out what your community is actually facing, what you might want to do, you can start using these community conversation formats. You can pull up strategic plans from different organizations within the community. You can talk to community leaders or individuals. Or you can attend different conferences or events from other industries to find out what they're facing, what they care about. Or you can go and just do casual observation from talking to people and what you've encountered. And finally, you can talk to local entrepreneurs to find out which problems they've dug up that they actually care about. So this is all different ways that you can start with the mapping out problems.